I'm Rob.
And I'm Louie.
And this is the Gunheart Virtual Reality Review by
Barefoot Gaming.
Louie, Gunheart, explain, what's the premise? What kind of role-playing game slash plant simulator is this game?
It is a first-person shooter slash wave shooter. Classic in the VR world.
So, you say wave shooter because it will kind of like waves keep coming at you, but in any first-person shooter, you always have waves to a degree. And there are a limited number of enemies. You can clear all the enemies, and you do have to progress from point A to point B to point C to point D.
Yep.
There are multiple different maps. How many in total?
It's 21 and 4 that change every week.
Yeah, 4 change every week. 2 are player versus player, and then there's, I think, 4 of the 19 that would be like horde mode. Like, they don't really drive the story forward.
Yeah.
They're just different game styles.
And big money. And difficult.
Speaking of money, something that we have to talk about is your ability to upgrade. There's multiple different kinds of weapons.
Yep. There's 2 classes of weapons. My favorite was probably the machine gun in the first class. There's revolvers and other pistols and shotguns. And then there's your second class. That's your really crazy powerful weapons. And that's like a super accurate bow that shoots crazy distances. And some sort of minigun that you put your controllers together and you just fire like crazy.
In game, you can choose exactly, like you can pop into your menu and you can choose different guns for different hands. So you could have one thing that's got a lot of stopping power and one thing that would just be like an automatic that will do a bunch of damage. And so these things are all customizable like crazy.
Yeah.
Millions of options, not millions, but there's piles and piles of options within. You unlock them by either beating like objectives in game, by doing really well. Let's say you'll pass through things at a certain speed.
Yep.
Touch on that if you don't mind.
The weapons you get in the game, you have to purchase. To upgrade, you find loot crates, and you go into the gun menus afterwards, and you can choose it in there, whether it's hollow point bullets or burst fire or something like that.
So some will do more damage, like as far as for shielded enemies. Some are faster. Some just have more stopping power, so you can shoot them less often. I don't really want to get too caught up in all the details, because we could go on and on about all the different details. A lot of customization of the, what would you say, how many weapons are there? There's, I think, 3 power weapons and then maybe 5 other ones total
that we found so far.
Yeah, and everything else seems to be, and we've put a couple of hours into this game to try to, give you as best an impression as we can. You can also customize the way you look, which won't really matter for yourself so much as the fact is it'll matter when you're playing with other people. You can play all of this, there's PvP arenas, but you can play everything through cooperative. HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, Windows Mixed Reality supports all of them, standing, room scale. I should also mention the modes of transportation. You have teleportation, which you can either set to blink or instant. You've got trackpad movement. You've got a jump option that you can turn off and on. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the game itself. Now let's actually get to review it. $34 Canadian. I want pros, cons. 34 Canadian is going to work out to about 29, 28 US. Louis, give me your pros, give me your cons. Wrap it up in a neat little package for us and deliver out of 5. How many alien hominid dudes are you giving this out of 5, and why?
A couple things I really liked about the game. It's neat. It's got a bug killing kind of vibe. They're mutant, they're awesome. There's a bunch of different kinds of them, and there's much bigger flying ones that are like the mothership that they kind of come out of. They're controlled by. The backgrounds I really enjoyed. Really cool, kind of drippy looking, slimy, kind of giving you not really a grossed out feeling.
It's atmospheric,
but
sure.
They set the scene really well. One of the things I really didn't like, and it didn't really happen to Rob as much, my guns kept changing, and there's a set of guns that you have to flip up to reload them, and I kept switching over to those, and I cannot for the life of me figure out how I was switching them in game without going to the gun menu. The power weapons are amazing. They do tons of damage. There's some really big, I think they're called ridgebacks. I really liked the minecasters. You can shoot them and they just explode in the air, kind of like flak grenades, or you can shoot them and hold on and wait for an enemy to come across it and then let it explode. but you have to keep your trigger held down. I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5, whatever he said. I liked it.
So I'm gonna say that the environments look really good. I like the fact there's lots of customization. I love the fact that there's a reason to keep playing, that you can keep playing through more difficult, like you can play through every mission 2 different ways. You can play it on elite or regular. You can try to beat your best time, or you can try to beat their set time, which is quite difficult. We tried on a couple. It's quite difficult to try to make it through the entire level. You have to ignore everything and just kind of race and just get past as much as you can. I like that option. We had a couple of glitches, and I mean, this is not a new game at this point anymore. They're still adding to it. They still just released a couple skins, but I played one level and it was just screaming the entire time. My shield went down and it didn't really go away. That just kept happening. My shield would come back up and I'd still get screaming, and it's like, okay, that's annoying. A little bit of a glitch, that's fine. I popped in a different mission, everything was fine. I like the fact that there's different kinds of enemies. A lot of people are comparing this to Starship Troopers online. It is not like Starship Troopers at all, because you've got creatures that are kind of mindless and will just come at you, which is awesome. Little bugs. You'll also have guys that are shooting at you. You'll have snipers. You'll have the big bugs that are, physically firing laser beams at you before you clear levels off. It's all neat. It's all fun. The multiplayer, which we didn't really touch on, and the reason we didn't really touch on, although it's fully capable, we couldn't find anyone to play with. At one point, we found somebody in game, and he was bouncing around, and as soon as I went to select a level, he disappeared. He decided to leave. So it is multiplayer capable, and I could see this being more fun multiplayer if you have someone that also has the game. Cooperatively, I think these levels would be lots of fun to play through. PvP, it's fine. You can play like team versus team. So yes, I do enjoy this game, and if you're looking for something that kind of has the vibe as to what we've described, because we have told you what the game is, you can see from gameplay. If you like this sort of thing, pick it up. It's got enough content. You are getting your money's worth. 4 out of 5 alien hominids is what I would give this. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share these videos with the world. Let them know that Barefoot Gaming exists. If you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments. We love to hear from you, and I personally go out of my way to make sure that I reply to everything that I can. We are out of here. We will talk to you later. See ya.
See ya.